Stop trusting numbers on a wall. They rise and fall, don't say much at all. Every plan had its moment in time. Worked for a while, then crossed the line. Ran a restaurant, loved the flame. Good food, good nights, familiar game. I turned the photos face down, then didn't need to meet that version of me again. But I always knew my face, round and back then, softer shape. Called myself Big Mitch, played it light, but jokes don't lift that kind of weight. Then one night under fluorescent light, in a quiet gym late in the night, I didn't turn, I didn't run, I finally said, yeah, that's me, son. I don't look perfect, I don't look perfect, I don't look young, I don't look young, I just look like a normal man. Scar on my nose from a harder year, healed up clean, still standing here. Life kept rolling, so did I. Didn't come this far just to pass it by. I tried every promise ever made. Same old circle, different shape. One small slip, one excuse, learn right back to wait. I couldn't burn. This time I stayed inside the lines. No deals, no maybes, no second tries. Meeting salt day after day, and the noise in my head just faded away. Then one night under mirror light, I stood there calm, I stood there right. Didn't wish, didn't pretend, I finally said, yeah, this is the end. I don't look broken, I don't look broken, I don't look done, I don't look done, I just look like a normal man. 2 push-ups used to stop my breath. Now I passed 25, still got some left. Not fighting age, not chasing time, just strength coming back one rep at a time. Body got lighter, mind got clear. Funny how truth shows up this late in the year. Wasn't weak, wasn't lost back then, just needed the right fuel to meet myself again. Now when I catch that mirror glance, I don't judge him, I give him a chance. Not a before, not a regret, not someone I'm trying to forget. No trophies, no trophies, no grand plan, no grand plan. Just finally living a normal man. 78, still standing tall. Old guy carnivore. Yeah, I found it all. Yeah, I found it all.
Live from frigid Melbourne, Florida. It's Saturday night. How you doing? Test, test, test. There, hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. All right, something's happening, but it's not the right microphone. I just rebooted my mixer. Let me see if this... Hang on 1 second now. Oh, what the hell? Hang on. Audio and... Hey, 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 there we are. All right. Something happened to my mixer. I don't know what, but now it's working. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. According to my mixer, it was working. Things are bouncing around, but it evidently lost its connection to the computer for some reason. Did you not hear any of it, or should I start completely over again? Did you hear the music? Did you hear the music at least? Yeah, I think you heard the music, but I don't know what happened. As soon as I switched to my camera, evidently the sound stopped working. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I see Rick in the green room. See, Rick, you're not the only one that has sound problems. Yeah. Even us seasoned professionals do every once in a while. Anyway, live from chilly Melbourne, Florida. It's Saturday night, and welcome everybody. Sorry about the false start. Lost a few minutes there, but I had to reboot my mixer. I had to turn it off, turn it back on again. Well, it reestablished the USB connection with the computer. Go ahead into the settings, change the microphone back to the correct one, and voila, little things started bouncing around again on the screen. So that's the first time for that one. I had a firmware update on my mixer here a couple of days ago, so rather than fixing things, it probably broke something. Par for the course. You upgrade your, it's like upgrading, putting an upgrade on your cell phone and it bricks it. Well, sometimes you're better off just leaving it. If it works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, don't upgrade it. But they're always upgrading this stuff. Every couple of weeks they come out with a new firmware for all these different gadgets, and I always hesitate to install them. Usually they weren't tested and they create more problems than they solve. But we're here along with 60 of us on this chilly Saturday night. Lamb said, heard you the first minute before it cut off. I got cut off right after you started talking. Well, you think it's trying to tell me something, maybe? Oh, no, not him again. Shut him up. And click. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, at any rate, I'm here. So how is everybody? I don't think I said anything of any great consequence until I began to see the parade of no sound, no sound, no sound messages coming across in the chat. Jeannie says, nothing beyond the music. Sounds far away though. Yeah, well, what I did was I have a built-in microphone in my webcam, which is on top of my computer, and I can switch to that microphone, but I've never taken any time to go into the system and set up the correct input volumes on it. Maybe I should do that, so at least I got a backup in case my mixer bombs again. It's always something. It's always something. If you're just talking to your cell phone, I think you stand a much better odds of actually having everything work than a complicated setup like this. But this lets me do some things that I can't do doing a live stream from my cell phone. So who we got here? We got Barbara here. Grandma's Crochet Corner. I am doing good, Mitch. I hope you are too. Yes, Barbara, I am. I'm going to be using your song as my opening song for these evening live streams while I have that 5-minute countdown. So I'm glad we got that straightened out. Okay, we got Gary and Rick, the usual suspects, in the green room. And all that excitement, I have to calm down. So I'll bring them in. And we'll get started. and start with Rick.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you too. I don't know what happened, Rick.
Well, I can tell you what happened to mine. My assistant was playing with the cables before I started, and he pulled it out. And what happened is the USB fell out. I had to plug it back in. And Linux will detect it just like that. But OBS, for some reason, it'll say no input. So I have to
Yeah.
go there and manually click it. So my intro played fine. My first camera played fine. When I switched to this camera, then they couldn't hear anything because the mic was disabled. But it took me about a minute, and then I go, oh, because I usually listen. I use like a mobile device, and I listen, but I turned it off. But then I looked, and I saw in the latest comment, no sound. I'm like, uh-oh. And I went back and adjusted it, and that was it.
Oh, that's what you meant by your opening started out like my opening. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, the music was working because I was watching
Yes.
a little StreamYard now in the green room. This is something new. Are you using StreamYard at all?
No, I don't.
But in the green room is a little bar in the top of the window where the picture, and it's got 3 dots in it. And that shows you the volume level of whoever. So if I can use it to adjust the volume level of guests too.
Yeah,
And I
like
don't-
OBS does that too.
But I don't look at that. Now, I looked at OBS, and my VU meter was bouncing around in OBS. So OBS wasn't getting my microphone either. That's, you know how you troubleshoot quick in your head. And I said, well, the mixer's on, the mic level and the mixer's bouncing around, but it's not getting it. I said, it must have lost the USB. So I turned the mixer off, rebooted it, takes about a minute, and it started working again. So meanwhile, I was trying to look for another mic in a list of devices, and I have all kinds of mics. I have mics in every webcam I have. But the one that's right here in front of me, I never went in. You know how you go into the control panel and then to sound, and then you go into the devices and you pick out recording to get to the microphones, and then you have one entry for each one of the microphones, and you can right click it, click properties, click levels, and then you can adjust the computer's gain on that particular channel. And that's before it even gets to the mixer. Well, I never did that with that microphone. I never intended to use it. So I probably going to go in and balance out some of these other mics just so I got some backups.
My whole setup is analog. I have a VU meter, but it's actually meter. So when I look over there, I can see it moving. And then everything is done manually. There's just one little digital sound card that goes between the computer and the setup. So, reboot, you just turn it on and off. There is no software.
Well, these days, you set up these studios, they're all digital, and everything's got... Another thing I need to do, which I haven't done yet, we'll get done this tech talk in a second, but I'm just talking to you. I need to add about a 200 or 300 millisecond delay to the channel that I play my music on.
Get feedback?
No, in timing is way ahead of the camera signal. So while I'm busy beating time to the music, it looks like I'm way off because I hear the music beat and then I see my hand go about a quarter of a second later. And Mixer has adjustments for all of that stuff, every channel. And you can even go so far as every individual song that you have individual adjustments for just that track, for just that push button to adjust the volume of it, the timing of it, all kinds of things. So you can fine tune these things. The problem is when you get them all adjusted, if you ever had to try to recreate it, now, you can save off all the settings, but if you had to try to recreate it, you have a day's work, fine tuning this stuff. Anyway, good to see you this morning. You didn't know I was there listening to you talking about me, but you were doing good. You were flattering me, so.
I always do. I criticize when necessary, and I give compliments when deserved.
Well, you don't ever really ever criticize me anymore, and I appreciate that. And but a lot of the things you said is true. It took us a while to get to know each other, and that's true. You can never know anybody. You get a first impression, but you can't know anybody until you really, really spend some time with them or spend some time watching them. So At any rate, I am too looking forward to seeing you at Kilsey's house. And here's another one's going to be at Kilsey's house. Okay.
Are we done with the tech talk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Greetings from my walk-in refrigerator.
Oh, man. Where are you, out in the garage or something?
Yeah, I don't know if you can read that.
36. I just got I just got the same thing today. The same thermometer, or very close to it, looks like it. It has an external sensor that you can put outside. So I put it out in my screen porch, and that way I can tell from inside the house what the temperature is of my porch. I have one already on my carport, but that doesn't tell me whether my porch has warmed up because of the sunlight. So, and in this cold weather, I have to make that big decision. What's more important to me? Puffing a cigar or freezing my ass off? That's what I mean. And it's now, what is that? Oliva, yeah. I've got some. Which one is that? Which is it? A series? What series something or series O?
Oh.
Ooh, those are good cigars. Do you know that Oliva is? I don't know if he still is, but he was a state senator here in Florida for a while. Did you know that?
Nope.
I forget his first name, but I met him at a local cigar shop. Had an event of a Oliva factory event where their reps came down. They brought a lot of free samples, had a contest, gave away ashtrays and T-shirts, and had good prices, and everybody bought a box of those cigars or something. And he was there at that thing. And at this particular one, it was a big deal. We had a pig roast. They actually had a pig roast. I had this big thing where they could bury the pig in, a portable one, and it was out in front on the sidewalk in front of the thing. And we started smoking cigars, drinking God knows everything, and
La Caja China.
eating pig. Yeah, it was great.
They got those pig cookers. La Caja China.
What is
I had
that?
a pig roast today.
It's a pig roasting box. They call it La
Oh, you
Caja
got one of
China.
those things. Okay. Well, if anybody that ever had a chance of having one, Rick, it would be you. the key would be, can you find it when you want it?
Oh, I know where it is.
Oh, okay,
Remember,
good.
I'm part Cuban.
So I did pork Boston butt in the slow cooker overnight. Put it in yesterday, and it's been on for over 24 hours now in the crock pot.
So you're going to make pulled pork out of it?
Well, eat it just like I do the chuck roast. Just throw it in the crock pot and let it become really, really fall aparty.
It just falls apart. Yeah, and a lot of people make pulled pork out of it, or
Right.
you can also do that with pork shoulder, I believe.
I got another one. I'm gonna probably do it on the smoker tomorrow. Outside, it's
man.
gonna be cold, but that'll be like a 18-hour smoke. I might start it up tonight.
Where do you live? Where do you live?
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Well, how far is that from me? Sounds like if I was ever in your neighborhood and hungry, I'd probably always have a place to go get something to
Yeah, for sure. 700 miles from you, about, give or take.
eat. Yeah, but that's off 95, isn't it?
I'm about 25 minutes from 95.
Oh, okay.
Johnson
Okay.
County, North Carolina.
I've been through there many
Where it
times.
hits
Up and down
Interstate
these-
40.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not far off of Interstate 40.
I've been up and down the East Coast many times, and we have somebody just came into the green room named Rico. So
Suave.
Rico Suave. Let me add Rico in here. Hello, Rico.
Hi, Rico.
How are you? Do we have audio?
Everybody's talking at once. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Oh, you're not watching. You're watching it on a browser. You're not watching it in the StreamYard window. So it's going to be a 6-second, 7-second delay over there. You need to watch it in the window that opened up when you went into StreamYard.
Okay, I got to figure out what's going on here.
Okay, because I can see
Got a
you and
big
hear
echo
you.
going on.
Yeah, yeah. Well, nobody else hears an echo. It's just you hear it yourself because you're listening from some window that is not the one you're broadcasting through. It's got about a 5-6 second delay. Are you on a computer or are you on a cell phone or tablet? See, he's not going to hear that for 5-6 seconds, so I have to say.
Yeah, I got you. Well, the 6-second delay, it's probably because I'm way up here in Canada.
No, that's not why. That's not why.
Good
Can
job,
you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay. You're only watching in the one window, and the other windows are all closed. The one you started out on in YouTube, you've actually closed that whole window and closed that tab in your browser. And the only thing you got left is the one that's StreamYard. That's real time.
Gotcha. All right.
See, the
Great.
YouTube won't broadcast, won't get the actual stream out till about 7 seconds later.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, we
perfect.
fixed it.
All right. All right.
So, hi, Gary. Hi, Rick. Mitch.
Rico.
There we
Hello.
go.
Nice meeting you. I've
Same here.
been watching you for a while, and it's the first time I'm jumping on.
Cool. Let me try to turn your mic up just a little bit
All right.
and see if that helps. Keep talking.
Mitch, you're gaining traction in Canada.
Yeah. Wow.
You think
All right,
it's
Rick.
cold down there?
Oh, I know it's
Come
cold
visit
up
me.
there.
Oh, we got, well, I'm working with Celsius, but it's around minus 17 where I am.
Oh, geez.
Who can do the conversion?
Well, what is it? It's 5 ninths plus 32, or 9/5 minus 32, or some combination of those two things. But 20 degrees Celsius is 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Am I right?
Yep,
0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
correct.
And what's your Celsius there?
It's about minus 16.
Minus 16. So the quickest way, without having
Just
to
ask Google.
tax your brain,
there you
the
go.
quickest way is to say, what is 16 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? No, it said, didn't hear me.
16 degrees Celsius is equal to 60.8 degrees Fahrenheit.
No, I get wrong. I said it wrong. You're at what Celsius?
Negative.
Minus 16 Celsius.
Minus 16. Okay, let's try that again. What is minus 16 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit?
60 degrees Celsius
Ah,
is equal to 140 degrees Fahrenheit.
Dizzy Broad. I give up. I thought I said it pretty clearly, but
Yeah,
she's not hearing me,
It's
evidently.
probably, I would think it's probably around 10,
Typical woman.
10 Fahrenheit. Somewhere
Yeah, I
around
would
there.
think so. I would
Yeah.
think so. Cold. It's cold.
It is. And
That's it. It's cold.
over the weekend we had about 14 inches of snow.
I can't even believe that. So, you're how do we know you from the chat? I don't recognize the name Rico.
I think I probably on YouTube. I think it's PPI 57.
Don't recognize that. Well, good. Welcome.
I don't post too much, but I did post a few notes at one time. Mostly a listener. Don't chat too much. I'm coming out of my coming out of my shell right now, I guess.
Oh, good. Glad to see you. And how long you been living this lunatic dangerous lifestyle that we live?
I think it was June 2022.
Wow.
But I have to madden you here, Mitch, a little bit, because You might not want to hear this. I had a few blueberries tonight.
Oh,
Like a few.
jeez.
Yep. Sorry about
Cut
that.
him off.
I shouldn't have
No,
said.
that's okay. I'll tell you what. I wish that I could eat a few blueberries. And if
you
you can eat a few blueberries and put the rest away, more power to you. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, if you got to eat any,
I didn't know they were in season, Rico.
they're in season somewhere. It's like
Costco. Frozen Costco.
it's 5 o'clock somewhere. You know, there's no
We
such thing
still,
as.
we still try to keep our carbs 20 or below. That's our intake.
That's perfectly fine. I really don't think, unless you got a specific reason for it, that anybody needs to stay strict carnivore. There's nothing wrong. It's not going to hurt us to have a few carbs or a few plants now and then. We're used to it. We have the machinery to handle it. But when it causes problems in somebody who has terrible autoimmune issues, allergies, or other reactions to plant material, like somebody like Michaela Peterson, they got to not do it. For me, it's carbs. When I eat anything that tastes sweet, it triggers an intense craving for more, and I'm helpless to stop it. So for me, I have to stay pretty close to pure carnivore. And it's not a matter of being weak. It's a matter of being controlled by your own physiology. And it has nothing to do with willpower or what you want to do. Your body decides for you what it wants you to do, and you just go along with the program.
Correct.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick, you got some cheese on the menu tonight? I see you got the grater.
Well, actually, I don't use this for cheese. I use it for soap in the bathroom.
And what do you do with the grated soap?
Well, I had in my live stream, I was talking about how I don't use any toilet paper. So I use grated soap for cleaning. And then
That would leave a rash, I think.
No, I don't get a rash. I make the soap myself from beef tallow or lard and wood ashes.
Oh, it's not a soap applicator. I got you.
Yeah.
Hey,
No.
speaking of wood ash.
Rick isn't wiping his butt with the grater.
No.
Good to
Although
know.
I heard that will remove hemorrhoids pretty quick.
Never had those.
That's what it is, Rick. Leave it to us.
Anyway, we'll be 69 this year, and we're doing all right, I think.
Good.
Right.
And you have a family with you up there?
Yep. Wife, two boys, 44 and 42.
Do they follow you on this, or do they think you're nuts?
Actually, my oldest boy is type 1. And I've really converted him into managing his insulin use.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The doctors say he's type 1. Doctors are always right?
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Does he get a C-peptide test?
That I don't know.
See, a C-peptide test actually measures the much more closely the pancreas's production of insulin. You know, they keep trying to figure these things out by doing glucose tolerance tests, which is, I don't think is the best way to do it. At least Ken Berry, that's what Ken Berry says, is better to get a C-peptide test. I would think that his doctor, if he's been type 1 and diagnosed as type 1, would know that.
D-peptide. I'll keep that in mind. I'll ask him. Is C-peptide test, is that the same as a fasting insulin test?
No.
No, it's different.
Fasting insulin is different.
Okay.
A C-peptide test, a peptide is a chain of amino acids. That's what a peptide is. So when they talk about GLP-1, it's a glucagon-like peptide. It's basically a long chain of, in a particular order, of all of the 20 or so amino acids. And they're the basics of the basic building blocks of life, because proteins are basically peptide chains that end up folding themselves up on themselves and create little machines. And that's what proteins are. So proteins are peptide chains that fold up and create a protein. But it's still the same chain of amino acids. And the way it works, I mean, I hate to get into the hard organic chemistry of it because I'm not an organic chemist, but I understand what happens is that this long chain has got, if it's straightened out, just floating around as a long chain, it's got many places along that string where it can attach to something. And what happens is something else near it on the chain actually attracts itself and folds the chain up so these 2 points link. And then something else might fold more of it in to somewhere else, depending on which is the most attractive open, just like with fats. When they talk about polyunsaturated and saturated, they're talking about how many free carbons there are that don't have anything attached to them, where some other molecule can glom on. And in a protein or a peptide chain, it's the way that these things over time fold up on themselves and create little machines. It's incredibly complex. And a single peptide chain might have a billion different results of how it could possibly fold, but there's one version of it which is more points attracting other points with more force that cause it to almost always fold up like that. That's why all the proteins end up looking the same. They have software now in computers that can synthesize, and they can create these peptide chains and run them through these programs and try millions of different ways they might fold and find the way that they will end up really folding, and then they can make that stuff in a laboratory. It's an incredibly complex science, but it's fascinating. So what happens is, along with producing insulin, the beta cells in a pancreas also produce this C-peptide. And I believe, I'm not a scientist, I play one on YouTube, but I believe that it produces the C-peptide in the same proportion that it produces insulin. The insulin may be used in the bloodstream in so many different areas, so when it comes time to measure fasting insulin, a lot of the insulin that may have been produced by the pancreas, I imagine, would have been used up and made the reading not accurate. But the C-peptide, I believe, is going to be at the level it was produced in the bloodstream. I know I'm missing a whole lot about that, but I think it's supposed to be a much more accurate measurement.
Okay. What are the, do you know off the top of your head what the target numbers are for that particular test? I could Google it, I guess.
Yeah, I have no idea because that's not the way my head works. I think in concepts and systems and things like that, but as far as memorizing the names of all this crap, there's no need for that. You can always look that stuff up.
Right. Hey, I watched your before and after video this afternoon.
What do you think?
I looked the same. I was,
You have a big round head like I had?
well, big cheeks and you know what the funny thing is? Once I started getting into that, all my friends and family, hey, are you all right? Are you feeling all right? Are you sick or something? Because, I mean, it pulls in your face a bit, right?
I get so many comments, especially from vegans. You gotta love them. You gotta love them. The vegans always come on there, and you know they're vegans, number one, because their name on YouTube is like Vegan Tom. Well, that's a good clue,
Right.
Wait. I wonder if he's a vegan named Tom. You think? So I did get one from some guy named Vegan something or other today, and he was going to set me straight, save my life. The guy really wanted to help me. He was going to say, I've been a vegan for 15 years. And then he started telling about how healthy he is and everything. And I cannot give that kind of video a heart. just to get rid of it. I can't say, you know, I love your comment. No, I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. Although,
Right. Yeah.
so I have to either get rid of the user completely, which I don't like to do, or I have to shoot him some kind of answer, hoping I don't have to get into a debate with the guy. So I just shot him back a one sentence thing, and it said, so I guess you figured out how to live with no vitamin B12? Question mark. Goes, you can't. You can't be a vegan unless you start supplementing everything.
Yeah, that's right.
And B12 is one of the most important, and there is no plant source of B12 in the world. So where does the B12 that they put in the supplements come from? Bacteria make it. There's certain strains of bacteria. When they ferment them, they produce vitamin B12. They put this stuff in the supplement. It's not, I don't think it could be anywhere near as good as the B12 that you get from just eating meat. But without B12, maybe 3, 4, 5 years, and forget about it. Your heart stops beating, your brain stops working. You you can't live without it. And we were never supposed to live without it. Not the way we evolved as meat eaters, as carnivores.
That's right.
And it's not just that, it's everything else. These vegans, if you've ever watched a vegan in a supplement store with a shopping cart walking around, this is the same guy that's in the produce market with a shopping cart getting they have little plastic bags in these produce markets. So you get a handful of this leafy green, a handful of that, a handful of these sprouts, a handful of these legumes, they come out with 100 of these little bags full of 100 different things so they can make their dinner. And then I guess from the produce market, they go on to the supplement store and get a shopping cart full of supplements so they can say, I don't eat flesh. They always call it flesh. You ever notice that?
Do they?
Yeah, they call it flesh. I don't eat flesh. I don't eat flesh. Flesh sounds yickier than meat, doesn't it?
In a way, yeah. Prior to me going, back then, quasi-carnivore, I was right into, I wasn't a vegan or a vegetarian, but boy, did I eat those spinach kale smoothies with almond milk and eating almonds like by the pound, all that. I think I'm still probably oxalate dumping it right now.
Oh, I'm sure I am. I'm sure I'm still doing it too.
Yeah.
You and I have been carnivore about the same amount of time. I was keto for quite a while before that. I went carnivore August 1st, 2022.
Oh, okay.
So I was just a couple months after you did.
I wonder what is worse, drinking those kale smoothies or whatever, or a frozen daiquiri with like a cup of sugar and rum.
Well, it's hard to say. It's
Good
very
question.
very hard to say. At any rate, I know that I feel good now, doing great now. So
It got so bad I was even picking dandelion leaves and sticking them in my smoothies out in the backyard, right? Oh, don't waste that.
I'm trying to look over the chat and see who we got here. We got Jerry is here. How
My
you
dad used
doing,
to do
Jerry? Vegetables took forever. Boston Danny's here. Hi, Danny. Good to see you. And Jeannie is here. Running tap 12 from Australia. It is you guys are conversing up a storm. I don't see Peter here tonight.
Probably working.
Okay. So you cut your. Who had a stream that you were talking towards the end of your stream about overlapping somebody else's? Who was that?
Oh, that was Dustin, Keto Simple.
Oh, okay, okay. And so you usually try to get off before he comes on now?
Well, he normally doesn't come on. He usually comes on Sunday morning at 7:30. I generally go till about noon or 1, depending on how many people come in, because I get a lot of people in the beginning, then I get more around 10 to 11. And then sometimes near lunchtime, I get another batch of people because they're getting up all around the world. You know, the people on the West Coast, it's like, what, 5 o'clock when I start?
Yeah.
6, 7, 8. So that's why I let it go a long time. I don't want to do a live stream every day because there's just too many people now. So I figured Saturday morning, nobody else does it. I'll do that. And then once it settles down, I cut off at 1 because at 1:30, George, he was on a live with, I forget what the lady's name was. And then, you know, usually Thomas has one, but he didn't have one today. You have yours,
Rick.
and then there's usually the big one afterwards. Yeah.
I woke up just in time this morning to put on your morning live and was watching Milton swat at the screen or whatever. And then I fell asleep and woke up just as you were finishing up.
I guess Peter's in the house. Hey, Peter. How you doing? We're just asking about you.
Mm-hmm.
Just asking about you. Yeah, everybody, got about 80 people here, so we're down a little bit tonight. But God knows how many other people are having live streams the same time I am here at night. That's a problem. But it's okay. It's okay. I was looking forward to doing this tonight, and I won't be back again until Monday morning on the morning coffee.
I guess there won't be a Saturday Night Live, or there may be next week or not. You're going to be out.
I don't think I'll be. No, probably not. I will be. More than likely, I won't be home by 7 o'clock because the dinner ends at 6, and I still am unclear. I'm almost going to play it by ear about whether I'm going to stay Saturday night over in the Tampa area or I'm going to actually drive home afterwards. It's about a 2.5 hour drive from the hotel in Tampa to my house. No big deal. I like when I go over to visit my daughter over there, I always go crack of dawn or in the dark. I leave 4 o'clock in the morning and get through Orlando and by Disney and all the crazy US 27 in the center of the state and get past all that before the rush hour really gets heavy. And then I always come home. I usually go over and see her just for the day because it makes it a lot simpler than trying to stay over and everything and leave the following morning. So I usually leave over there by 7, 8 o'clock, get home by 10 or 11, and it's not a big deal.
Looks like it's going to be a little bit warmer in Tampa on
a little bit, but
Saturday.
It's still not going to be warm. It's still going to, for me, it's going to be, my uniform is probably going to be the Tampa Bay sweatshirt and hoodie that you guys see me in all the time. I'm staying at Kelsey's on Friday night, and I still don't know whether, and I haven't talked to him or even put it to him yet, but a possibility, which I'll explore, is to actually ride up to Tampa with him or somebody that's coming back to Sarasota after Tampa, and then just stay Saturday night over there and leave out early Sunday morning where there's no traffic and drive home. It won't make much difference for me between whether I get home late Saturday night or earlier Sunday morning, and I just have to see how I feel because I'm most concerned about my energy level and my physical ability to just handle that much moving around. I'm not used to that now.
or eating that much meat.
No, I eat plenty of meat. I had a steak. I sous vide a beautiful ribeye tonight, and I sous vide it just for about 4.5 hours. And that tender, the longer you sous vide, at 123 degrees, so it was still like raw in the center, raw to rare. But the longer you sous vide them, the tenderer it gets, and the softer the fat gets. So. And then I seared it off in carbon steel, real hot. Actually put a crust on it. And
I don't like sous vide them anymore. I think, I freeze them individually vacuum sealed.
Yeah.
And then I'll thaw it out the day before, and I know I can just put it in the sous vide. But I like just taking it right from the fridge, right into the hot cast iron skillet and just get a slight browning on the outside, and then it's still cold in the middle, and it's delicious.
Yeah, well,
like
that's a little, that's black and blue. That's I like them a little more cooked than that. And I'll tell you what, I have to show it to you some guys one time on this live stream. I was over at my son's house, and you know, I know a lot about knives. I know about the science of knife sharpening, but I never really got into it myself. You know, I always got one of these cheap knife sharpeners, kitchen knife sharpeners. You draw the blade through a few times, and those things just trash knives. They're not really. The way to sharpen a knife is to hone it on a stone, and then you strop it with a metal strop, you know, which basically just puts a fine edge on it.
Oh, I do it.
Knocks off the little part that keeps curving over when you sharpen this side and that side. So my son, when I was over his house, I asked him, I said, his knives in his kitchen are like straight razors. I mean, you lay the knife down on the meat, it goes, the weight of the knife pushes, it's unbelievably sharp, dangerously sharp, you know, dangerous for a lot of people, would kill themselves if the knives were really that sharp.
He must use one of those sharpeners on the back of an electric can opener.
Oh yeah. No, he uses a grinder and an electric drill. You know, one of those things is you can use to grind down motorcycle gas tanks. You know, if you're trying to do body work. No, I said, how do you sharpen it? How do you keep your knife so sharp? And he says, I got this thing on Amazon, not cheap. It's a roller kind of thing. And it's got a roller, and then it's got two bearings and rubber grommets, and it rolls like those two things are like wheels. And on each end of this thing, on one end is a very fine diamond cutting surface, but real fine. And on the other side is the equivalent of one of those metal strapping things. And then it comes with a wood block with a 30-degree angle cut on one side and about a 40-degree angle on the other, and a monstrously strong magnet behind them. You take this block, you clamp the blade in it with the blade up, and it clamps onto that thing at the exact angle. You put the thing on a table, and you got the knife sitting there at this angle. Then you take that roller thing, and you just roll it up and down the knife. You roll it on the table, you just roll it up and down, and it sharpens it. Geez, I sharpened the knife up. Took me a couple of minutes tonight. I just got it. It's the first time I used it. I sharpened up this old cheap-ass knife and made this steak tonight, and it was like cutting it with a straight razor. You didn't have to push on the knife. You just you know, just like you see the butchers on these butcher videos. They just kind of they don't even put any effort. Me, I'm always leaning into the knife trying to get the cut.
Post that link in your description for that thing.
I will. I'll post it on my Amazon.
On
my Amazon page. It costs, I forget, $80, $100. It's not cheap, but man, what a deal! And the angle is perfect. You get that exact angle, and oh man. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It was the easiest way I've ever seen to sharpen a knife without having to get the oil out in the whetstone and all that stuff. But
The way I do it.
Mitch, you going to sharpen all your expensive knives that you have in your collection?
no, I don't.
Damascus knives and
I don't have many of them left. When I went broke, I had to sell off most of that stuff. I sold off. I hate to say it. When I think about what those knives would have been worth today.
All my knives were thrown out by somebody.
There's two knife makers that are like the most famous knife makers in the handmade art knife community. One of them, his name is Robert Lovelace, and oh God, it's been so long, I can't even remember. Bill, that'll come to me. I haven't even thought about this for 10 years, but Bill Moran, Bob Lovelace and Bill Moran, these guys have made knives 30, 40 years ago that are worth $100,000 today. handmade knives. They're beautiful. They're in books. They're in magazines. They're historical pieces. Bill Moran was the guy who reinvented Damascus. Before he started forge welding different kinds of steels together to get pattern, and twisting them and forging them again, and to get the patterns in them, that was a lost art. That was an ancient Turkish sword making, and Japanese made some swords and katanas like that. But Bill Moran rediscovered it, and his early knives, I had a collection of those things. The collection of just the Moran and Loveless knives that I had would be worth $1 million today if I still had them. But I had to unload them. I had to live. I had to live on all the stuff I was saving up for my retirement. I had to unload it cheap, because when you got to move something in a hurry, you're not going to get a big price for it. You know, that's just the way it is. And I think back on that stuff. I have I'll just show sometime on one of these live streams. I'll get out some of the pictures. I had a knife collection that was worth a literal fortune, and it was all one of a kind things. Most of the knives had historical value, and I enjoyed that. It was the greatest hobby in the world. Let me type Bill Moran in Google and see what it comes up with. William F. Moran. Here, let me adjust a few things here so you can see it. William Moran, knife maker. William Francis Moran. He died in 2006. He was born in 1925. He was the founder of the American Bladesmith Society. I'm trying to see if I could come up with a. This is what some of the knives that he made look like. They all had sheaths. And these. Oh, here, look at the prices. Look at the prices. This knife here, $17,500 for that knife. $17,500 for this one. $15,000 for this one. $15,500. I probably owned one of these at some point in time. He only made so many knives, but the price is $10,000, $9,000, $12,000. So that's Bill Moran. I must have.
How long does it take to make a knife?
Well, he could make. These are all handmade, hand forged, and they always made the sheaths that went with them.
Right.
Yeah, let me show you this. This one right here.
I've watched some knife making videos, and you know they put in like 40 hours into it.
Oh, they put a month. They put a month or two.
Ruin the blade.
They put a month or two, but Bill was the first one to make Damascus knives, and the handles are all carved and fluted, and they're inlaid with twisted silver wire, and that's $20,000. Now people will pay them, and in 10 years that thing will be worth $40,000. They were real collector's items, and I had a ton of Bill Moran's knives, and I had to sell them. I got paid a lot of money for them when I sold them, but nothing compared to what they're worth today. The other guy.
Mitch, are Ginsu knives worth anything these days?
No, I don't think so. You know, everybody talks about collectible knives, and they all got all these pen knives, and they're big knife shows, and you know, $50, and most of those things you can buy in quantity of 100 for like $25. You know, these guys buy them for $1 a piece, $2 a piece, and sell them for 30. Just like these so-called knife shows that these people have on TV, that's all a fraud. But the types of knife shows that I went to were events in big fancy hotels. We had banquets. I ran a knife show in Orlando for years called the Florida Art Knife Show. And we'd have a big banquet, and I'd stand up there, be up on the stage behind the microphone talking to everybody, welcoming people, knife makers from all over the world. And don't get me started. I start talking about knives, I could talk for days about these things. And I have pictures of all my knives, and I still have a huge stack of publications, of national publications, knife magazines and books, where so many of my own collection were actually photographed for that book and everything. Magazine covers, Blade magazine is the biggest. I own like 3 different knives that were on the cover of Blade magazine, and I was considered like one of the main top guys in the field. And here I am sitting on YouTube talking about eating meat now, so don't ever think you have any idea where your life's going to end up, because you don't. But the advice
I watched a few videos. I watched a video a few months ago on some young guy who makes knives to order. Someone will ask him to make him a knife, and he does a video on it showing like the whole process of making it.
Oh, it's fascinating. It's fascinating. I actually spent hours and hours and hours traveling all over the country to these different knife makers' shops. Some of them are out in the woods in old barn-looking places, and they had all these big hydraulic presses in there and everything, and they were blacksmiths. And
it blew my mind was, like he's already like a week into it. It's been over 40 hours, and he's like, I don't know what's going to happen. It could crack at this point, and I'll have to start all over again. And he ended up charging $10,000 or $17,000 for a knife that someone ordered from him.
Yeah, some of these things get to be. Let me see if I can find something here real quick, if anybody even cares about this. But let me.
Quite an investment to have all the equipment in the shop to do it in, and.
Well, I used to do a different type of artwork, and I had a lot of equipment for that. You probably know what it was.
Neon lights.
Yeah, neon lights.
Oh, don't kid, you did that?
Do it.
Yep, glass bending.
Here, I'll show you a few. We've still got 81 people here. Indulge me a little bit. It's a walk down memory lane for me. But I'm going to show you a few knives, just a few. I mean, you'll get tired. I could keep going and going and going. These were my knives, part of my collection, and I photographed them. Always tried to turn them into some kind of artwork. So here is a small folding knife. That's only like a 2.5-inch blade, but it's all engraved with 24 karat gold.
That's pretty.
Here. That's all steel, a Damascus knife with a mother of pearl inlay and solid gold fittings. Another knife that is Damascus. You can see the blade there. And this is a fossil walrus ivory. And along the back of the knife, along the spline, what runs right along the back here, is all filework. They call this filework. It's all filed where it looks like curled up metal and solid gold fittings. And these were not expensive knives. Here's one with a little raccoon carved in the bolster. And the other side, you see the other side of the raccoon sticking out. See it there?
Wow. If I were to get stabbed, I would want to be stabbed by one of those. Wow.
Now look, this knife here, look at this. The carving in this ivory was a scene from a Napoleonic battle. It had the horses, it had everything. You can see it. This was the handle, how well it was carved. And all of this metal was all carved out and engraved. It was such an exquisite piece. If you look right here, you can see Napoleon on the horse. See him right there? All that was going on in this one knife. It was incredible. It broke my heart to sell these things.
So, Rick, I thought of you when I was watching a clip from Joe Rogan's podcast, and he's got that neon sign behind him. Like,
Yep.
There's a perfect niche for you, Rick. Create neon signs for YouTubers' backgrounds.
That's true. And the thing is, I've done the channel letters, and I've done, like he's got a flat board, I believe, with some neon on it. That's what they used to put on a lot of the old bars. Remember, they had one strut stuck out the side of the building, and that's the style they used. I guess that was custom made for him.
See this one here?
I would think so. I don't think there's many other guys named Joe Rogan looking for a sign like that.
Mm-hmm.
This one here is called silver filigree work, and Damascus blade. And there's my buddy Steve Schwarzer was the knife maker that made these, and he's a very, very famous guy. Anyway, that was. I could go on. I had hundreds and hundreds of knives in my collection. God, I miss that. I miss that, but I don't need that much to be happy anymore. And
How fancy do you have to stab an iguana?
you're right. You're right. You're right. I always said, and if I'm going to get stabbed, man, don't just stab me with any old knife. I'm going to be stabbed with a very beautiful engraved gold filigree, Damascus knife. Come on now.
The trick is, Rick, you got to mesmerize them with all that fine detail and gold inlay, and stab them right when they're like awestruck.
And then this fella was a very interesting story. His name was Al Scott. He lived in Texas. His main job was the parking. He picked up shopping carts in Walmart parking lots and wheeled them back to the store. This guy was kind of a savant and a knife maker. He made that knife with the Napoleon on it. It was incredible workmanship. And he made this knife here. Let me show it to you. He made this knife here. And the knife basically had a flintlock pistol built into it. Let me see if I can find a better picture of this where you can see the whole pistol. Now, hang on, I'll get there. Boy, am I eating up. Here it is, right here. This was on the cover of one of the magazines.
Wow.
There was the barrel of the pistol, see it? And it really fired. It really fired too.
Wow.
That was an incredible, one of a kind. Nobody had ever seen anything like it. And poor Al, he was so depressed and so down. He had this incredible talent, and he never. I got to the point where I became kind of a mentor to him. I actually put him on the payroll of my company so that he could live and get a weekly paycheck, just so that he could produce his knives. I never ever got in value from him the knives that I basically paid him to do, but I didn't care. I was what they call that, a patron of the arts or something like that, and I supported him for a couple of years. And this was one of the knives that he gave me. Basically, he owed them to me, but I never made a big deal out of that. I always just wanted to. I saw a talent like that, and I wanted to keep him going because that kind of a talent doesn't come along very often. But Al was a great guy. I still have all the memories from those days, and that's a big part of my life. And I don't ever regret anything I did. I don't know how interested everybody is in that, but what else we got to talk about? Gary smoking cigars, Rick's.
Did you see the weather maps today in North Carolina?
Oh my God!
Nope.
The weather everywhere north of us is crazy. The temperatures are nuts.
We had a force field around us in Raleigh. Ran from like Raleigh to Wilmington, right along I-40, where it was just all clear. Snow to the west, snow to the east. And us, bone dry, right in the middle.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Wonder if it started snowing yet. But as of right before the live stream, there's nothing.
It's supposed to be cold here, but it doesn't feel cold yet.
No, it's starting tonight. It's going down to 25 here in Melbourne.
Oh, it's 35 down here.
And you'll probably be 10 degrees warmer. And then tomorrow night, pretty much the same. And then even the night after that. And it was supposed to be warmer in Sarasota this weekend, but it's trending colder. It's trending colder now. And Let me see if I can
Take a look.
take
I
a
don't
look
have
at
any. I don't have any heat here anyway.
10-day forecast. Hopefully it's smart enough to know where I am. 10-day air for the next 10 days in Melbourne. It's going to be on Friday, February 6th. It's going up to 63 here. So that'll be pleasant. That'll be pleasant. On Saturday, 65, Sunday, 65, Monday, 66. It is going to be 73. It's going to be warmer on Wednesday. So I guess we'll be over the worst of it. It's going to be 24 tonight, 26 tomorrow night, 33 the night after, then 41, then 52. So we're going to have a little bit of warming before the weekend. It won't be bitter cold, but it'll definitely, for me at least, because I like it warm. I've been here too long in Florida. I like it warm.
I don't.
And when you get older, you tend to not generate as much body heat, or you lose it quicker. But I like.
I was
Got a
I was
slight
born and
dusting
raised
outside.
in Miami.
What's that?
I was born and raised in Miami, and I don't like it hot.
Wow. I was born and raised in Philadelphia, and I've been down here so long. I've been here probably, well, not quite as long as you've been alive. I came here in 70. What year were you born?
1968.
All right, so you were 2 when I moved to Florida. So I've been here almost as long as you have, and I've certainly become adapted to it. Well, listen, guys, I don't know what happened to Rico. He must have got himself on a phone call or something. So it was good to meet somebody new. Hope we see him again. And about time to end it. So let me put on my song. Something about that song just takes me back. Takes me back to the 50s.
She made one for me too, you know.
I know. I haven't heard it yet. She's made songs. Made a lot of songs.
Mine has a disco flair to it.
Oh, cool. Well, she couldn't have picked a more perfect style, melody line, rhythm, and the words are really cool. And that kind of prompted me to re-release that video I did today.
Big Mitch.
Well, Big Mitch, yeah. And I put that video out there, and most of it came from what I did 2 years ago. I got some funny comments on that. I got one guy. They wanted to educate me a little bit about photography, because I was talking about my round face, and he let me know that my face wasn't really that round. I was just standing too close to the lens, and that was a fisheye effect. Well, I mean, every picture I took when I was younger and fatter, I had that same size round face. That particular picture he was talking about was taken on a selfie stick at least 4 feet away from my face. It had nothing to do with fisheye. That's what my face looked like. It was that round, you know. I'm sorry if you're going to tell me it's a fault of the cameras and I don't know what I'm doing. That's fine. Well, I get so many people want to help me. They want to educate me. Help me find the
Still
error.
the big fish, Mitch.
Help me find the error of my ways. Wow, I'm almost to 50,000 subs. Wow. I'm at like 49.2, something like that. 49,200. Let's see. I'm looking for another 100,000 plus video, but they're tough to find. I'll tell you that they don't happen very often. They have to hit everything just right for YouTube to keep pushing it. I'm at 49,000. Go ahead.
Suppose it's AI to make your face skinny now, right?
Oh, absolutely. I do all kinds of tweaking on it, yeah. And then I get people tell me that I look sick. I look weak. I'm sickly. I need to eat some more. I'm killing myself.
I wonder what my face looks like.
You can't wait.
Me too.
Well, you're still, you guys are young yet. You know, and I know when you're 57, you feel like you're old, but you're not.
I don't feel old.
And I'm sure a 100-year-old guy would look at me and say, you're just about 80. You're still a young man. So it's all relative. Everything is relative.
That's right.
Rick, grow a beard.
Maybe one day.
Yeah. So say goodbye to your friends and everybody in the
Bye.
chat. Say goodbye. I hope we haven't bored you with cigars and tech talk and knife talk tonight.
I don't know, Mitch. Good night.
Take care. Take care, my friend. And that leaves me. And put the chat back up there. Sorry about the sound in the beginning. Music's coming to an end. Yeah. The sound is happening way before I snap my fingers. The sounds I hear in my headphones. Before you see it on the screen. So I have to fix that. Okay. There's the end of the song. And that's the end of the show. So I'll see you Monday morning. Morning Coffee with Mitch. Thanks everybody for coming. Hope you had a good time. Hope you got a chance to converse with all your friends. And stay warm. Stay warm. Wow. You take the rest of the day off and eat meat.